All right, good morning and welcome to the Thursday morning coffee chat. I am really looking forward to talking to you guys today, much like every Thursday, but today especially because I got something to talk about today that is on my heart. And usually when I come to these lives, I am coming completely with nothing, no idea what I'm going to talk about, and then they just happen, and I accept that as it is and assume that what I say is what needs to be said. And today I've been really thinking about, what do you need to know? Like, as a person in the world, and we'll keep it as simple as that, as a human being in the world today, a world that's full of suffering, a world that's full of struggle and striving and trying and efforting all over the place. What do we need to know? And, I come from a background of hustle. And I tell you guys that story all the time about how I was a little addicted to the hustle, to the goal getting. But I wasn't always like that. I kind of have had different phases in my life where, I was born with a mind that works very quickly and gets things very quickly. Intellectually, I am very good at learning things and absorbing them and applying them and just getting them. And then it's like I've known them my whole life. And so, when I was in school, like elementary school, and all the way up until I started high school, I had straight A's with minimal effort. I didn't try very hard because I didn't have to, A, and B, because if I wanted to have friends, I couldn't be as smart as I was. I thought that was how it was. And for anybody who has been in school, grade school, in Western society anyways, to be too smart is to be isolated. And so I tuned down my efforting a lot. I dimmed myself out intentionally on purpose, for the purpose of keeping myself safe. And there's more into my, the original core trauma that I have had and my experiences in that and what else led me to dimming myself out. But this is just one facet that I want to talk to you guys about today. And I spent most of my growing up just showing up and still getting really good grades. And I didn't have to try very hard. But then high school came and I went even further down that rabbit hole. I went into an addictive state where I developed an eating disorder. I always contribute all of this to the fact that I was kind of like, I never felt like I was pretty. I always felt really awkward. I was awkward. I had really long legs and a short body and braces and a big head. And I just always felt I was not one of the pretty girls, growing up. So I thought anyway. And so when high school came and I grew 7 inches in 9 months, and all of a sudden I was thin, and because I grew 7 inches in 9 months, and then I became addicted to changing myself to be the most attractive physically in my mind that I could be. And that resulted in skipping a lot of class, burning my moral compass, completely. Doing things that, I mean, I was a goody two shoes up until then. And then all of a sudden I flipped the script and became a completely different person. I developed extreme eating disorders that I successfully hid from almost everybody. And I also developed a very brutal relationship with alcohol, which I'm pretty sure I was allergic to because I would puke every time I drank, but I didn't stop me because I needed to be one of those girls. And so my efforting was lax, let's say. Like, it actually was in like the fucking trash bin. I had no desire to put in any effort. All my effort went to not efforting. And then something happened at some point in my early adulthood where that flipped. And I'm going to contribute that to when I stepped into the fitness realm of my life. Because up until a certain point, I could just starve myself or binge and purge and stay thin. But then once, when you're drinking 5-6 days a week because you work in a bar and that's all you and your friends do is drink and party and eat shitty bar food and drive-through food, eventually you start to lose control of your appearance. Your weight doesn't lose as quickly or as easily, and you have to eat less and less in order to make it happen, and then you're on this binge purge cycle forever. So then fitness gave me a sense of control. Fitness gave me a piece of control. And when I realized that I could manipulate my body with food instead of with the restriction of food and with training, that was the start of me efforting again. Because efforting, me putting in my effort, meant that I could be successful and liked and desired and inspiring. And so I became addicted to that. I became addicted to the hustle, to the drive, to being the person that showed up and put the most effort in and fucking crushed it. The person that came from nothing and climbed the ladder. I started my oil sands job in 2018, and within 3 years, I had made a $25,000 increase to my salary because of how I hustled my ass and became the most efforter there was. And so I became addicted to it. I became addicted first to not efforting, not putting in effort, not trying, to then becoming addicted to the hustle, to the grind, to the passion, to the drive, to getting as much done, to productivity. And both led to the same feelings of lack. My life changed drastically. I was able to buy my own house. I was on my own terms with no help from anybody. I was able to do what I just said in the oil sands industry. I was able to build myself up out of nothing. I was able to overcome an eating disorder and build a coaching business, teaching people how to overcome their metabolic dysfunction because of their extreme dietary issues and their yo-yo dieting. I owned it. And it was lovely, but I still, at the end of all of it, found myself doing it for the wrong reasons, from a position of lack inside. I wasn't embracing my power out of nowhere. It wasn't something where I decided I am worthy of all of this goodness. No, I did it because I became addicted to it, because I was coming from a position of I am still lacking. And so things got good, but only so good, right? There were I had these, I call them abundance blind spots, where, my relationships still struggled. My romantic relationship still struggled. And I still couldn't sit still in the quiet. I didn't know how to be with myself in the quiet. I still would, every time I drank a lot less, but every time I drank until I was sick and deathly hungover the next day, blacked out. And was I fun? Yes. I had a great time. All of my friends that went out with me, most of the time, would say that I was a great time. So much fun. But I paid for it. And I was still on this yo-yo of back and forth, just with a completely different addiction. And so what I wanted to talk to you guys about today is the efforting. Whether you're efforting or not efforting. And what I mean by efforting is putting in effort, trying, striving, grinding, hustling, or not. Neither matters. Neither matters if your intention is based in lack. You're not going to find the fulfillment that you seek if your intention is coming from a position, an inner standing where you have decided that you are lacking and that this achievement, this next thing, this next goal, this next milestone is going to help you become enough. That you're going to finally be able to relax then. That you're going to finally be able to be happy with yourself and love yourself when you've done the things and got the things and achieved the things. But I'll tell you, you'll bury yourself in it every time. Every time. And so the main point of today is to talk to you about the I am. And I've had a really hard time grasping how to articulate and convey what it means when we talk about the I am. But I want you to think about this, okay? When you are coming from a position inside that you are lacking, you are declaring universally, energetically, that I am not enough. And your I am power is that you are and become, in the moment that you declare it, exactly who you know yourself to be. And so when you say things like, I am blank, I am that, I am this, I am depressed, I am anxious, I am not enough, I will be enough, even is like a sneaky loophole into I will be means that you aren't right now. I'm on my way means you're not right now, which means you're going to continually manifest and experience that which you are declaring yourself to be. Your I amness is your consciousness. It is your power to co-create with the universe. And so when we talk about co-creation with the universe, when we talk about creating your reality and manifesting the best possible life that you could ever have, the ultimate fulfillment, you have to decide and declare yourself to be ultimate fulfillment within you first. Because life is your mirror. Life, your experience of the three-dimensional reality, is a mirror. And as my friend so eloquently pointed out last night on a call, she said, well, what happens when I smile in the mirror? What happens if I go to the mirror and I smile at myself in the mirror? What do I get out of that? And the answer is you get a smiling reflection reflected back to you. You get the experience of your smile reflected back to you. You get to experience the smile. Because if you weren't standing in front of a mirror and you smiled, you would not get to experience the smile. You wouldn't get to experience the warmth that it radiates and the dimple that you have and the beauty of it. You wouldn't get to experience it. You would just be doing it. And what is the point of that? Right? So reality, your experience of three-dimensional reality, your manifested physical experience of life is serving the purpose of allowing you to experience yourself in real time, just like if you were to smile in a mirror. So what does that mean? It means that if you're standing within yourself and declaring yourself as still not enough, your reality is going to allow you graciously to experience a physical three-dimensional experience of that state of being. So your I amness, who you are declaring yourself to be with your I am energy, is in fact your conscious co-creatorship with the universe. And when we talk about conscious co-creatorship with the universe versus unconscious co-creatorship with the universe, when you are conscious, it means you are in awareness of what you are doing, and you are doing it with intention. You are having and declaring your inner state of being to be whole, abundant, complete, and fulfilled now. And when you do that, your reality mirrors that back to you. In whatever version that your life experiences up until this point has created as your version of a limitless life. That is the beauty of getting to this point of enlightenment when you have already had a huge life path that has brought you to a certain point in your life where finally you are like, why couldn't I have learned this earlier? Well, because you were forming your version of a limitless life. And it wasn't done being formed or created within your own state of being, within your own mind, within your own realm of choosing what you would be and who you would be at your most limitless point. It wasn't done being created and formed by your life experiences yet. And so we only come to a position of enlightenment where you are in your conscious co-creatorship, where you realize that all I need to do is decide that I am the operant power in my life and there is no other. And in that moment, your version of a limitless life blossoms and explodes and expands and comes into fruition. And so the key to creating and manifesting the ultimate life of your dreams is to know yourself as the version of you, the highest, best, most abundant, most complete, most unconditionally loved and unconditionally loving version of yourself. And your reality will just automatically form and expand into the exact picture of what that means to you. And that is the purpose of life. It is literally our duty to step into our highest, lightest version of ourselves, to know ourselves as and declare ourselves as that version that we have always wished ourselves to be, and allow our life to come in so we can experience what that means. That is the point of it all. That is the point of the whole thing. Once upon a time, God said, the Creator said, I want to know what it's like to experience me. I want to know what it's like to experience consciousness, to experience source energy, light, love, unconditional abundance, relentless abundance that just never ends. I want to know what it's like to experience what heaven is as an experience, because I am heaven, and therefore I want to experience what heaven is. And so she, the Creator, became the universe. And all of us have this experience of not knowing who we are, not knowing our power for a period of time, so that we can then create and experience, when we step into our power, a unique, incredibly unique and different experience of what it's like to be limitless. That's the point of it all. That's why we're here. So it's literally our duty. It is literally the point. Your purpose is to step into the highest version of yourself, and whatever that looks like to you, and whatever that means to you, and to declare yourself as that when you are finally ready to do so. Which means you have to stop thinking that you're on the way. You have to stop thinking that you're not there yet. You have to stop thinking that you're a victim to your circumstances, because you have to be, in order for this to be true for you, for you to step into your power, you have to own it all. You have to take all of that responsibility, all of that ownership over the reality that you are in, by taking ownership of your state of being, by deciding who you are, declaring, I am the I am. I am complete. I am abundant. I am beautiful and whole, and everything that I've ever wished myself to be, I am that now. And stop waiting for the permission slips to come, because the permission slips, the synchronicities, the alignment, all the stuff you're looking for in your everyday life is preceded by your state of being and your choice of who you decide yourself to be. So when you have a sign that says, hey, just want to let you know that you're going the right way. The reason why that sign has occurred is because you decided somewhere subconsciously or consciously within yourself that you're going the right way, that you're the type of person, that you are the type of being that goes the right way. And because of that, because you've decided that you are on that path, then the synchronicity shows up as a wink to say, that's right, you are on the way. Only because you decided that you were. There is no external power outside of you that influences your reality. Therefore, you in your I amness will be always. You are doing it now, declaring who you are and allowing your reality to match that. And when you see experiences in your reality that you don't prefer, and you allow them to confirm suspicions about your lack or your not enoughness, in that moment, it's because you are standing as that version of you. If you knew for a fact that you could never be lacking, something that came across and could serve as evidence as your apparent lack would not even faze you. It wouldn't even come into your psyche, into your mind. It wouldn't even cross your mind that you could be lacking, because you know that you aren't. Because it's impossible. Because you are the I am. You are source energy having an experience in a human body of a human life. And you are encouraged by every single part of this universe to step into your power, because that's what we're here for. So I hope everybody has a wonderful weekend, and I will talk to you all soon.